Alright, this is gonna be a prison story time. Also, I just wanted to make a video about my old bunkie, KF Mikey. I've talked about him in other videos. He deserves a video. He's been locked up 8, 9 years out of 15. I did some maggot shit that I shouldn't have did. I told y'all I'ma always keep it real. I've already talked about embarrassing shit about myself before, and this adds to that. This is something I'm not proud of. Also, just where my addiction took me. It's no excuse, but it's true. But more or less, I want to go into a story time, and then I'm also, just like I said, I wanted to dedicate something to KF Mikey. So here it goes. Let's break it down. First, watch this, and then I'm gonna go into it and break it down. This is what he's doing his 15 years for, allegedly. Beginning to wrap up a little here as the rain starts to come down just off of I-270 on the southwest side of Columbus. Police telling us that they did take that person into custody that after the shooting that left one man dead. Right now, that's the only information we have on the victim is that they are a male. Police telling us that victim tried to leave the scene in a vehicle following the shooting, but was never able to make it out of the apartment complex parking lot. His body was lying in the apartment complex parking lot when police arrived. They say the shooting did take place outside. Shell casing was seen lying in the parking lot when we arrived on the scene. Police still on the scene as of about just past 6 a.m. now, collecting evidence. We do believe they were inside of one of the apartments. We saw a lot of flashes going off in there, assuming that they would be taking pictures of the scene, not necessarily of the scene, but of what may have led up to the scene. It did happen outside here this morning. We should know by later this morning the identity of the victim in this homicide. Live in Southwest Columbus this morning, Matt Edwards. So now I'm going to go into the story time. I just wanted you to get an idea of what he had going on, what they said he did. Somebody allegedly robbed him, and he let off a few, and it caught him. The driver, they actually said that that dude's friends pushed him out the car and drove off and left dude there. So, he got sentenced to 15 years. He actually ended up getting in contact with her mom, the kid's mom, who was talking shit to him, and he was showing me like on the GTO tablet how she wouldn't forgive him and all this shit. It's probably very painful, but yeah, dude tried to take some white girl from him, and he just wasn't having it, snatched it and drove off. So everybody handles things different. That's how he chose to handle it. All right, so look, he been down like 8 or 9 years out of 15. Good dude though, good bunkie, which is what makes me feel bad that I'm about to go into this. I'm gonna try to just run through this kind of fast because I've talked about some of this before. Okay, so KF Mikey, good dude, solid dude. He was. We had an alliance with the KFs for like 3 weeks. We had our own handshake. We would lock up with them. We'd go to chow together. We had our own kitty, a bag full of commissary that we all pitched in. Mandatory workouts, everything. Some shit was going on. We was going together. We had about 20 of us. They had like 12 of them. So altogether, we had like 32 deep because of this. Now, when I first got there, I seen he was a porter, and he would sweep and mop while everyone was locked down. So he would sweep and mop in certain areas and then kick shit under the door, right? But the staff didn't give a fuck. But they would pay him to run. So I would watch him go to this door, put something in his pocket and say good looking. Go to this door, put something in his pocket and say good looking. And then I remember thinking, when I was observant, very observant, I remember thinking, damn, dude locks down at night with like 15, $10 packs each time. That shit, he's just getting free shit. And I remember thinking like, damn, dude got that hustle locked down. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, I didn't even know him yet. I didn't realize I'd ever be his bunkie. Fast forward like 9 months, and actually he had a black eye, and he was fighting with his own guys. He fought two of his guys, and he fell back from the KFs, convicted family. I'm gonna actually do a story time on them. It's a gang out of prison gang / street gang out of Columbus.
So I am gonna do that. But by the time me and him were bunkies, he had actually became active again with that. He was having some issues. He fell back, fought some dudes, and then now he was like, it was like it never happened. Same thing I had happened, more or less, actually, similar in a way. So we're living together and shit. He had this dude Jimmy and this other dude Corey that were his city homies that were also KFs. Sometimes him and Jimmy would want to swap with our bunkies. But Jimmy actually lived by himself. So how it worked was he would come bring his sheets and shit and his pillow and shit, and I would take mine to his room. And like I said, he had no bunkies. So when it was locked down, I would just go in his room, flip his TV, play on my tablet, and kick it because we trusted each other. He would do the same thing, go in my room, locked down. CO would never know because he'd just do a count and see me in there. I'd put the towel at the end of the rack, let my foot stick out just a little bit. He'd look in, see my foot. All right, cool. But they wanted to be able to kick it and party all night pretty much and kick it. So I would do that to help them out and shit. Well, uh, eventually something happens and he crashes out on a CO. Okay. Now, mind you, this is one of the best bunkies I ever had. This story I'm about to tell, it was some maggot shit. One of the worst things that I ever did. And I told y'all I ain't gonna have no filter. I'm gonna keep it real. I feel really bad, like on my kids, on my grandma, and on God. I feel so bad that I did this happen. But I'm gonna explain to you how the universe got me, how my karma got me. So you know, stealing in prison is a really big deal. Just the fact that I'm admitting I did this is a maggot move. You know what I'm saying? But it's true. Now I haven't always been a thief, but we would take things from people, like we would beat people up and rob them and take their shit. But stealing, big deal. And I ended up getting violated for this. So let me break it down. So yeah, so I'm packing his shit up because he threw a cup at a CO. But as he's leaving, he's telling me who to give his shit to, Corey or Jimmy. But he's yelling it, cuffed up. Hey, give someone this, and this to them because I ain't got no title. Everything else, just give it to the officer. I'm like, all right. Now, how that works is you pack up stuff and they take it to the vault. But if you ain't got a title for certain shit, you'll lose it. Now, Lebanon being is kind of like corrupt. The COs don't give a fuck. So whatever they hear goes in one ear and out the other. When you go to the hole, they actually cuff you up and bring you back to the hole to do your own pack up. So that way your bunkie don't keep all your shit. You feel me? So what you could actually come back in cuffed up to get your stuff, and the bunkie will be handing you a bag of coffee, some different substances, different shit, an ink pen, like just the most random shit, candy, and the whole time you're stuffing it down your pants because you got your pants tucked into your tube socks ahead of time because you know what you're gonna do. Now, mind you, there's a CO standing right here watching you do this because you're supposed to be doing your pack up, but he's doing this. He's looking around. He ain't paying attention because they don't want nothing to do with that. They want the convicts to have a smooth bit. So your bunkie's literally, you're cuffed up, and he's literally pulling forward your pants and dropping shit down there or whatever. If it's something small enough, hold it in your hand. When you walk back, they might even crack a joke and be like, "Man, you got your pants loaded right now." That's just how it is. All right, so the main part of the story. So, as I'm packing his shit up. I take him his stuff. I end up giving it to the dude who we wanted me to give the stuff. So 2 bags, the stuff that's going to the CO and the stuff that's going to his brother. As I'm doing this, a ring falls out. It's like a silver ring. Now, mind you, I'm in the middle of my addiction. Every night I'd go to sleep plotting how could I have something for tomorrow. Well, don't ask me how or why, but it came across my mind. I'm just gonna keep this because it was like in the bottom of his shit, and it's no excuse, but I did. I kept it, and it was probably the most maggot thing I ever did to any of my bunkies because I'm not a thief like that. Now I have stole, yeah, I've stole shit in my life in my addiction, but in prison to just steal from another inmate, this is the one time that I did this, and that's why I'm breaking it down because I feel bad and it's what happened. So now, mind you, he's in the hole, right? So like 5 days later, I end up in the hole, and I can't even remember what it was for. I was doing like 7 or 14 days, some little quick shit. But I'm back there and I see Mikey and we're yelling on the range and shit. Now, I had just sold that ring to the porter because I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to party. But I didn't realize that I was on the same range as Mikey because there's 3 holes at Lebanon. There's R block and there's L1 and there's L2. Well, I was on the same range as him. I actually gotta go. We're going leaving to get some food, so I gotta hurry up. So I sold him it. Boom. I realized I'm on the range. This is my karma right here. Dude literally, Mikey sees it and dude tells him, yeah, I bought it from so and so down there. Man, I will never forget this, y'all. Just not the physical violation that I got from my guys for stealing, because we're not allowed to, steal. It's a part of our laws and policies. Uh, just that feeling of how he sounded, disappointed, yelling for me on the range. I'll never forget that. And he was like, Pack. And I yelled down. He's like, bro, did you steal my ring and sell it to the porter? And I'm like, yeah. Hey, and it got so quiet on the range, y'all. Like, everybody who's hooting and hollering and kicking it all day and fishing and sending this to this guy and doing this and doing that, it's so quiet now. Everybody's just at their door listening. And we talked for like 10 minutes straight. And everybody's like, hey, man, you guys are tight, bro. Like, outside of the alliance and everything, we know you guys are being bunkies and you guys are tight. And we even had to fight one time because of the alliance with the lineup. That's a whole separate story that I told, where there was a lineup and we fell out with our alliance. So now we fought every single one of us had to fight every single one of them who they picked for a 60-second round in the room. Because me and him was bunkies, and it's some cruel shit that they chose to do. They made me and him fight. Everybody knew that, and we pushed past all that, and we were tight. I told him flat out, like, bro, I'm sorry. I was just trying to get high and this and that. And he forgave me right there. But all my guys, a few of them on the range was like, hey, bro, well, look, when we get out of here, we gotta keep it real and let them know on the compound what happened and shit, right? I'm like, I know. So I had to sit back there knowing that I was going to catch a physical violation, which I did when I got out. And he didn't want to fight or nothing. Uh, he was cool with it. He got his ring back. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, matter of fact, this right here happening literally got me wanting to send him some money. Like, this got me, now that I finally was able to shout out to Bravo Bands. Me and him was locked up. I gotta hurry this up 12 seconds. He's the one who saw my videos and told me dude's name and goes, hey, I know who you're talking about. All right, y'all, stay safe, stay free, stay blessed.